Tonight, let us look up one last time upon the hero's stars. Stretched across the darkness, longer than any other shape in all the heavens, there lies a great and winding figure. It does not gather itself into a single bright cluster the way the others do. Instead, it sprawls, slow and immense, curving across the sky from one horizon toward the other. It is the largest of all the constellations, and yet its light is soft, so you must be patient, and let your eyes grow still to follow the whole of its long and serpent body. This is the story of that serpent, and it is a story you already know the beginning of. For we have stood at the edge of this swamp before. Let us drift back, one final time, into the age of heroes. Back to Heracles, whom the world would call Hercules, the son of a mortal woman, and of Zeus, the king of the gods. And back, of course, to Hera, the queen of the heavens, who never forgave the hero for being born and whose cold and patient hatred followed him through every day of his life. Her first attempt to destroy him had failed. She had sent the golden lion of Nemea to be his ending, and instead the hero had triumphed and worn the beast's own hide as a cloak. And this only deepened her anger. So for the second of his great labors, Hera prepared something far worse. Not a creature she merely found in the wild, but one she raised herself in secret in the dark and fed and nurtured for a single purpose: to end the life of Heracles. She raised it in a place already touched by dread, a wide and stagnant marsh called Lerna, where the water lay black and still beneath a low and drifting mist. It was a shunned place, a silent place. The old stories whispered that somewhere beneath those bottomless pools lay a hidden doorway to the underworld itself. And there, in that gloom, Hera's monster grew. It was the Hydra, a vast serpent coiled in the shallows, and from its great body rose 9 long necks, and upon each neck a hissing head, swaying together in the misted air. Its blood was a poison so terrible that a single drop could kill, and even its breath drifting across the water was death to breathe. But the Hydra's most dreadful secret was this: if any warrior dared to strike away one of its heads, the wound would not end it. From that single severed neck, 2 new heads would rise, hungrier than before, and among the 9 there was one head, set at the very center, that could never be killed at all, for that head was immortal. Into this swamp came Heracles, and he did not come alone. Beside him walked his young nephew, a loyal companion named Iolaus, who carried with him a torch. The Hydra kept to its lair, deep among the reeds, and would not come out. So Heracles drew his bow and sent flaming arrows into the dark, until at last the great serpent rose in fury from the water and showed itself in full. And the battle began. Heracles struck, and one of the 9 heads fell away. But before he could feel any triumph, the neck split open, and 2 new heads grew where one had been. He struck again, and the same terrible thing happened, and again, until the heads that swayed above him were more numerous than when he had started. The long necks wove around his arms and his legs. The poison hissed close to his skin, and slowly, for the second time on this long and difficult path, the strongest man in the world began to feel himself losing. And high above, Hera was watching. She saw her enemy struggling, and she reached out to make certain of his ruin. From the muddy edges of the marsh, she summoned one more servant to the fight, a great crab. Now, you may remember this small and humble creature, for we have told its story too. It crept out from the shallows, brave beyond all reason, and it seized the hero by the foot to pull at his attention in his most desperate moment. But Heracles, hard-pressed as he was, brought his heel down upon it, and the little crab was gone. And Hera, in time, would lift that faithful creature into the stars, where it shines still as the constellation of the crab. But the crab's sacrifice had shown Heracles just how close he stood to defeat, and so he called out to Iolaus. And together, at last, they found the answer. It was fire. Each time Heracles swung his blade and cut away one of the serpent's heads, Iolaus stepped forward at once and pressed the burning torch to the raw and open wound. The flame seared the stump closed before it could split and grow anew. And now, for the first time, the tide of the battle turned. One head fell and stayed fallen. Then another. Blade and flame, Blade and flame, the two of them worked together, and the many heads of the Hydra grew fewer and fewer until only one remained. The immortal head, the one that could never die. Heracles could not kill it. No blade, no fire, no strength in all the world could end a thing that was deathless. So he did the only thing that could be done. With one great blow, he struck the immortal head from the body, and while it still hissed and snapped in the mud, he carried it to a mighty boulder, and he buried it deep beneath the stone. And there, some say, it lies to this very day, unable to die, unable ever to rise again. The Hydra was defeated, and before he left that terrible place, Heracles dipped the tips of his arrows into the monster's poisoned blood, taking the serpent's deadly gift and carrying it away with him. But that is a part of the tale for another night. For now, look again to Hera. Her greatest weapon had fallen. The monster she had raised in the dark with such care, the horror she had been so certain would end the son of Zeus, lay still in the black water of Lerna. Her hatred did not fade, and yet, as she had done before, she would not let the fallen creature simply vanish from memory. She reached down, and she lifted the great serpent up, out of the swamp and into the endless night. And she laid it across the heavens in full, its long body winding farther than any other figure among the stars. She made it the largest constellation in all the sky. Some might call that an honor, but there is another way to read it. For the greater the monster, the greater her defeat. And so she hung her mightiest failure, highest and longest of all, sprawling and unmissable, glowing softly across the dark for as long as the stars should last. So the next time you trace that long and winding shape, faint and immense against the night, remember the swamp of Lerna and the many heads and the torch burning in the darkness. And remember, above all, that even the largest of monsters could be overcome, not by strength alone, but by a hero and the loyal companion who stood beside him. Rest now and let the stars keep watch. For the poison of the Hydra did not end in that swamp. It lived on, hidden upon a hero's arrows, and one quiet day, by terrible accident, it would find a gentle and undeserving heart. A wise and kindly centaur, the teacher of heroes, beloved by all who knew him. And his sorrow too would one day be written softly into the stars. But that is a tale for another night.